I was just thinking about a post that I had made, and I wanted to speak on it and elaborate on it a little bit more. But imagine if you are living in a world where death is all around you. Like, what I mean by that is that you can wake up and die. You can wake up and have a heart attack or whatever. You can wake up and die. You can die in your sleep. You can go outside of your door and die. You can go outside of your house and die. You can die at work. It's like death is all around you. You understand? And life, you're thinking about life, and life can kill you. Now, every day of our lives, right, we have to wonder about death. We have to wonder about life after death. We have to worry about dying because none of us on this planet want to die. We all wants to live, right? Now, imagine you come from a world. Imagine who you really are came from a world that didn't know nothing about death. Whereas though you can wake up anytime you want, do whatever you want, get hit by anything. You never die. So you never know about death because all you have is life. You don't know what death is. The things that you do down here, if you was to be where you originally come from and do the same things here, you would never die. You don't know the meaning of death. There's no such thing as death, right? So imagine that you being a person that was born and raised and came out from life, and you don't know what death is because it don't exist to you, to now you have became to be a part of a world that death is all around you. And now that you are a being that came from life and now you're in death, and you're not aware that you came from life while you was in this death, the main thing that you are trying to keep is your life, because you are surrounded in death. So the fact that you are trying to keep your life, right? Every day that you are in this death, you are surviving because you are afraid to die, because you want to keep your life, right? Because we really don't want to die. We never want to die because where we originally come from, life don't exist. We don't know what death is. So the fact in the physical realm, living in this hell, we know about the life because we don't want to die, because where we originally came from, we don't know what that is. So now that we are living in this density of hell, we are doing everything to keep us alive, but we are surrounded in death. So every day you are in survival mode because you are doing everything you can do to not die because you want your life. But living in this dimension, you have to come down here in order to live. So you had your life. You had to die to be in death. And then once you realize that you are in death, and you realize that you are all around it and that you are actually dead, you're going to understand that you got to go back to your life in order to get eternal. So it's like you went from being fully alive to now you're dead. Now you're dead. Now you got to get back fully alive in order to be alive again. You understand what I'm saying? So right now, the fact that you are living in survival mode and you are doing everything to stay alive, what you don't understand is why you are doing everything to stay alive in this dimension, on this planet, on this earth, in this realm. This is not the real life that you should be fighting for. This is not the real life that you need. This is not the real life that you came from. Your real life is who you originally are. But the fact that you are not aware of none of that because you was created to be a certain way, you was programmed to not know that you came from life. You are going to fight for this life right here because it is in you. Life is in you, but you are fighting for the life here instead of fighting to go back to the life where you originally came from, when it's eternal, when the life here is not eternal. So you are fighting for your life in here when you really know that eventually you are going to die because you live in death. Now, by saying that, the fact that we are living in death, if we prepare our mind, body, and spirit for the afterlife, then we wouldn't care about the death that is down here. So they basically conflicted our minds, where the up is down, the left is right. They conflicted it. because we all want our lives. We all want to live forever because it is in us where we originally come from. That's who we are. We live forever. But living down here, we don't live forever. We are surrounded and living in death. So that means that even though we want to live forever and we'll do anything to survive, to live here forever, we got to understand that we are in death. So eventually we are going to die. So when we die, this is where we're afraid of because we don't know what's going to happen when we go up there because we were never taught the reality and the realness of what's going to happen if we do die here and go back to life. You understand what I'm saying? And then when they talk about dying and going back to life, they misconstrue everything. They make it seem like that if you die and go back to life, you're going to be with heaven with Jesus. You're going to be with God if you go back to life. Now, I ain't even going to get on that part. But all I'm trying to say is that when you go back to life, you're going to be your complete self. And where you come from, certain being that is about to leave this planet in transition, a lot of us, where we are going, we don't have a God where we going because we are the gods. Certain people, when they die, they're going to have a God.